You're listening to the joint sermons on the Push Media Podcast Network.
Laughing at me saying I'm not feeling myself is not the way to start a podcast episode. So what's your problem?
Which one? I've got a bunch of problems, but
So let's tell the listeners the good news. You are going to be released and you have a street date of sometime next month.
Sometime next month, yes. It is,
right.
It is accurate. I will be back in the studio and closer to you to be able to bother you more consistently.
And complete with a GPS tracking device attached to your body.
Yes, absolutely.
That is true.
That is true, yes.
That's just my way of bringing up. That's just my way again of trying to talk about the Apple Watch and Apple Fitness. Welcome to the Apple Watch Happy Hour here at the Push Media Studios. I'm just telling you. I don't care. I'm a fanboy. Speaking of fanboys,
you are a total fanboy, and it's like I'm sure you'll convert me to the dark side once I get home and get all my Apple stuff set up.
But as a tech guy, it does change. It's like I've watched all these videos, I've read all these things, I've talked to people like this. Like there's the Garmin watches, which are absolute beast of athletic phones and all that stuff, or watches, but they're not smart watches. And I keep telling people, I don't think you get it.
Yeah.
What it does to you and separates you from your phone and frees you from doing different things. You don't have to do anything. Your watch is just there, but it separates you from that. You're not checking your phone.
Yeah.
You're not answering your phone. You can dismiss your phone. You can dismiss it's any life changer, game changer. But speaking of fanboys, and I didn't want to approach this, a couple of weeks ago, we spoke about Beyonce. And I said she had a great album. It was way too long. And I said it wasn't a full country album and she could have split it into two and it had two bangers. So I thought I was fair.
Yeah.
So Taylor Swift, her album is way too long. Well, the full whatever version it's called, the anthology version, 30-something songs. Way too long. I don't understand. Separate it into two albums.
Yeah, nobody ever wants a double disc. Like, I don't care. Like, 30 songs. Like, honestly, I'm good after 12. Like, and I'm good as little as 8 even. If it's a solid record, you don't need to put 30 tracks on there. I will never understand that. It's like, I remember when Wu-Tang dropped, their double disc, was it Forever? And I was so hyped when I bought that, and I came home, and I put it in my CD player, and it turned into a weed rolling tray after that. I don't care what people say. There's like 2 good songs on that entire double disc. It's way too long.
Life After Death. Biggie had too many songs. There are too many skips on that album. Now, the thing is with Beyonce's album, I don't think there was any skips. They were all good songs. You could tell there was attention to the quality and the detail of the song. It's just, to me, it was 2 separate albums. It was your regular R&B and then it was your country song, your country album. And she could have probably been up there with the awards for the country album if she had made that shorter. I don't know, 8 to 12 songs or whatever it was of the country songs. I mean, good. But Taylor Swift, like same thing. None of them suck. They don't suck. But I'm like, it's yawn. It's too long.
Yeah.
I don't like this trend. I don't like it.
Yeah. I hope this isn't becoming a trend where if people are dropping records with 30 songs on it.
The 2 biggest musical acts in the planet.
I know.
And then on top of that, Taylor Swift crushed it again with over 350 million streams in less than 24 hours of that album.
That is insane.
And here's what kills me. Supposedly every 4 streams counts as a physical purchase. Like that's how they try to measure it, So
a full stream of the entire record.
Yes, not 4 songs. So if I stream that 4 times, that's the equivalent of me buying it. Okay, I don't know how they come up with that, but whatever. That's what they're going by. So then she matched and beat Thriller day 1.
That's nuts.
Now, if that's accurate, now again, I don't know who. I hope a righteous mathematician sat down and figured that out and did it right. But what? This is insane. Insane. But again, I liked both albums. I do not care what anyone thinks. They are too long.
Yeah,
they are too long.
There's no reason for that. Like, I don't. you know,
No.
you look at any perfect record that in my top 10, whatever I would consider perfect, like maybe 12, 13 tracks. Like anything over that, and like you're just gonna lose me. You know what I mean? Like it's my attention span isn't that great to begin with, but when you put 30 songs, I don't want to listen to 30 songs by one artist in one sitting ever. Like I like a
Well,
variety of things.
no.
I want to listen to different stuff. Why would I want to listen to 30 of the same tracks? Like if I'm listening to one record, fine. But like, nah, I couldn't sit down there and just like bang out all at once. Like, no thanks.
Even if I pick my favorite artist, it's just like, all right, please. I mean, like I said, Biggie, Life After Death, there's skips. Even
Yeah,
Pac's even
absolutely.
All Eyes on Me, there are skips. And then there are skips on All Eyes on Me that are only skips because it's a double album. Now
Yeah, absolutely.
There are skips because I'm like, that song sucks. But
Yeah, Life After Death was meh.
he was dead. So
Right.
I give it, that was probably Puffy. But
Oh,
Pac was
I mean,
Pac was alive. Pac was alive. So that's why the songs I don't think suck. They're just like, we didn't have to put this one
yeah,
here. It would have been fine on another album or an EP or something.
yeah,
But speaking of the double album, as a Taylor Swift fan that I am, again, like her music, I'm going on the record, do not care. I do not like that she released an album. Now I'm gonna guess anyways, without no data behind me, that most people stream music instead of physically purchase or download and purchase. So it probably doesn't affect them as much, but she releases an album at midnight. 2 hours later, releases a quote anthology version, which is basically a deluxe version with all the 30 songs.
yeah.
That's
That's kind of
messed up.
grimy.
And then
Yeah.
within 24 hours, there was 4 versions of that album.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. It gets confusing. I see
I
that
mean, is it just a money grab? Like that could be my
that's
only
what I'm
thing. Like,
saying. I don't see I don't see what else it is. I don't. I don't see what else it is.
I
Now,
mean,
again,
it,
granted, most
she could have
people are
she could have
streaming.
just dropped it right there and people would have bought it. You know what I mean? It could have been $120 for that album, and all the Taylor Swift fans would have been like, "Here's your money." You know what
But
I mean? Like it doesn't
here's
make
my
any
theory.
sense.
Here's my theory. It's too long, and she knows for award season, anybody who's going to vote for it is going to go, it's too long. So she won't nominate the long version. She'll nominate the one with what 11, 12 tracks, which is a solid ass album. That's my
Yeah,
theory. I don't get it. Like
yeah,
it's too much. But I don't like that you're most of those fans I'm going to guess are teen girls who might pay for it. But
yeah.
I see that. I
I
see this
mean,
with listening to music. I see that just randomly, and I can't even think of one off the top of my head now. I'll be listening to this MC, right? It's an album from like '98, and there'll be like other versions of this album, and I'm like, what? And I go and look, and this one has like 2 extra songs. This one has a remix. Then this one has a video. I'm like, none of these are the album that came out though. This is all dumb.
yeah. Oh, I hate remasters,
I,
reissues.
I
Like,
don't
it's like I'm
here's the 25th anniversary edition. No, because now
well,
it's no longer what it was that made it a classic.
yeah. Well, that's what they just did because Record Store Day was on 420, and since I live in a state with draconian cannabis policies, I couldn't celebrate properly. But I was like, oh, it's Record Store Day. I'll go and check it. And it's always so overpackaged and like they put out there was a Nas record and then they put out a Biggie compilation of just instrumentals, which was kind of cool. But I'm sorry, like $55 for that, like
No, absolutely not.
that is 100% a money grab. And the one thing I did pick up, and I'm glad I picked it up, was I grabbed a reissue of Midnight Marauders. And then, like 2 days later, I found out that they're getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I was just like, if there's one group that absolutely deserved it, it is them.
Sure.
That record is perfection. Like, me and my homie used to argue about Low End Theory versus Midnight Marauders. I'm solidly in the Midnight Marauders camp. But I mean, it's like arguing which burrito is better. You know what I mean? Like, it's a never ending. Both of them are just fantastic records, and those are a perfect example of where you don't need 30 songs to have it be super dope. You know what I mean? So
No, you don't. No. I mean, again, you can't make a bad pizza and you can't make a bad burrito because you can make it however you want. But their first 3 albums, solid. I don't think anyone can argue it. I also think
no,
Q-Tip should probably be in the Hall of Fame as a producer on his own right.
absolutely. I think people kind of forget that like Tip did most of the producing for that, and not
He's
only that,
sick.
he's done what, and he also put on Jay Dilla. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he was the one that found Dilla. Like so, that alone with him just having the ear to be like, oh my god, this guy's nice. You know what I mean? And like he definitely. And not only that, he worked with Janet Jackson. He's produced a bunch of other people too, and like even his solo stuff is just was absolutely bananas. Yeah, he definitely does not get the credit that he deserves. I saw somebody on Twitter saying, who was the better producer, DJ Quick or Q-Tip, and I was like, oh man, like here's which is the better pizza argument. Like, you know what I mean? Like both of those dudes are just so solid with what they do. It's insane.
Yeah, it's insane. That's it.
So I
I'm
mean,
glad.
it
I'm
was.
glad though we didn't have money grabs like that when I was younger.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one because I think the double disc thing that really was popping in the '90s for a little bit kind of died out because people are like, yeah, nobody cares. You know what I mean? Like, and it was 90% of the time it was all filler on the second disc anyway. So,
It was awful.
but it was awful. It's hip hop is it always goes through cycles like that. But I will say I'm super stoked that Primo and Nas put out a record. Like, I saw
And it
people
was
talking
good.
about like
And it was good.
it was. And it was good. People are like, oh, well, it wasn't this or it wasn't that. It's like it's Primo on the beat, Nas on the lyrics. Like
Now,
that's the recipe.
some criticism I seen, which I guess could be fair. What the premiere beat was basically premiere formula, and I'm like,
Yeah,
and
that's the point. What do
I
you
mean,
go to Primo for?
that's what I'm saying. It's like if you go to a celebrity chef, well, yeah, I want his type of cooking. I want the burger the way he cooks it.
Yeah.
That's why I went to
No,
him.
yeah, nobody goes to Manny Fresh for a premiere beat. You go to Primo for a Primo beat. You go to Manny
Yeah.
Fresh for a Manny Fresh beat. Like that. Like that's not a valid criticism. Like,
No.
oh, it sounds like Primo. Yeah. Oh, is it heavy boom bap with cuts on the chorus? Yeah, that's
Dude,
Primo,
it's
and that's
so
why
choppy.
people go to Primo. Yeah,
It's so
exactly.
choppy. It's wonderful.
Like if that's your like problem with it is that it sounds too much like Premiere, please go listen to Drake. Like go
Especially when it's Premiere actually doing the beat. But even for Nas, now here's the thing: Nas doesn't suck. I never think he sucks.
Nah.
He's not my favorite MC.
Nah.
But he doesn't suck. Clearly, Illmatic is a classic album. I concede it.
Facts.
It didn't do it for me. There's like four songs on there where I'm like, all right, this is ridiculous. It just gets you that hip hop vibe. But as a whole, whatever. But I recognize it. I acknowledge it. I'm not stupid.
Yeah. Illmatic is dope for sure. And then he kind of,
I think
went off into
It Was Written was his best, is my opinion. That whole album I liked.
I mean, that's definitely debatable for sure. But yeah, I mean, the new record's dope though. I like it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So it makes me excited for a full album of them. And I think he stepped up a little bit his game because of a premiere beat. If you listen to his last couple albums with Hit Boy, again, they're not whack, but they did what, 3 or 4 albums in a row together where you're like, you need to break it up a bit. Like,
yeah, I wasn't.
You're not a group.
Right. Yeah. It was the Hit Boy stuff was cool, but yeah, I definitely feel like him over a Primo beat was exactly what Nas sounds like over a Primo beat, and
it's
I'm
where
good
he belongs.
with that. You know what I mean?
It's where he belongs.
Exactly. Like if you get maybe him over a large pro beat on that record too, maybe a collab, whatever with Primo, that'd be dope too because he always sounded good over those beats. It wasn't until he kind of like started branching off and doing stuff with different producers, which I'm not saying you shouldn't do, but it was sometimes it's just like it's the wrong flow on the wrong beat. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It was always weird to me, but
considering that, how lucky were we that we had Guru rapping on Premiere beats all the time? Imagine Guru on someone else's beats. That's a match made in heaven.
Yeah. Oh no, that was I was lucky enough to see Gangstar twice before Guru passed away, and it was both in a smaller club. And man, I will never forget it. The first time I saw like Gangstar was maybe like 98 or 99. I can't remember. I was in college, and I was at this club, and lights are totally out. Turntables are on stage, just on the turntables. No primo, no one standing there, nobody on stage. House lights go totally dark. Step into the arena, drops. One light comes down. Primo's standing there, and in a full-on ski mask, just going to work, and like Guru comes running from the side of the stage and just boom, just set the show off. And like to this day, it still gives me chills because it was so dope and so raw.
You know who was like that? Was DJ Crazy Tunes.
Yeah,
Ice Cube's DJ. He was
yeah,
so ill of an LA DJ. He had that sound and that feeling and that vibe in his veins, and it came through his turntables. And it just the way he mixed it, he could every day of the year was like a summer sunny Saturday cruising down the street with that guy. If you listen to his mixes, same thing at his
okay.
concerts. So he would mix between acts or mix when Ice Cube's getting ready to come. And you almost like you hold up. Why don't you give him another half hour? Like it was just ridiculous. Like
Yeah,
he was sick with it. It was
yeah,
yeah. I miss DJs like that. I miss people scratching
yeah.
on rap albums.
Yeah, me too. Like it's. I mean, clearly I'm biased. You know what I mean? But yeah, like we need
Yeah,
definitely
yeah, you
more of
have the
that.
itch.
Yeah, you know, you got. I mean, it's part of the culture. Like the fact that it doesn't get used nearly as much is kind of sad. You know what I mean? Like for all the good stuff that goes on in hip hop, man, there is just some super lame. Like the whole Drake using an AI verse on a
Oh,
diss record and people gassing that up. Like, are you serious right now?
first of
Like
all,
the fact
foul.
Tupac, stop, just full stop. But how do you use Snoop Dogg when Snoop Dogg is alive? Like
Yeah.
what? And people
No,
were
no.
gassed up on this.
And
People were
Snoop
like, "Oh,
didn't
he
do anything
ended
about
him."
it. Snoop didn't do anything about
Nothing,
it.
nothing. He got on Instagram and was like, "Oh, I can't believe they did that. Good night, y'all." I'm like, "What?"
I'd have been
Like,
pissed.
I'd have been beyond mad. Like,
Well,
how do you do that?
Ice Cube said a few months ago, anybody uses his voice with AI, they're getting sued till they're broke. Because they must sue into
Yeah,
bankruptcy. And I don't blame him.
absolutely.
And
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
blame him, especially because it's not that he used Snoop's AI voice to me, which is foul. The greater sin is he made a diss record with Snoop's voice. And it's like, hold on, hold on.
yeah, and now you're pulling people into it.
Yeah, you're pulling like I'm out of it. You guys are beefing. Enjoy your beef, and I'm over here now. I'm part of it. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, well, that's what you get when you have like hip hop's version of like a cashmere sweater trying to be hard, and it's like, bro, calm down. Like it's just that whole just that whole thing, Captain Sharman. Like I don't want to hear that, bro. Like go back to being wheelchair Jimmy as a child actor. Like nobody cares. Like
And
and
they're not.
the whole beef was dumb, and like the fact that like people were like, oh, he ended Kendrick Lamar. Bro, if you think using AI on a diss record is going to end somebody, we are not built the same at
Now, so
all.
last I checked, Kendrick never responded, which I think
Oh,
at this
why
point,
couldn't?
I'd be like, I'm not responding to AI rap. That's retarded. I wouldn't do it. And if someone
Yeah,
asks
no,
you, oh, you're not going to respond to an AI rap? No,
yeah,
absolutely not.
absolutely not. I wouldn't either. And it's like, you know what? All these people that are gassing them up, like, oh, you ended them. Who cares? Your opinion is invalid. You just said using AI to diss somebody
Yes,
who's still alive
but I
is
also think
okay,
Kendrick.
and not only okay, but great. Like
Yeah,
your opinion is null and void. You are no longer in this space. You may leave now.
but I also think Kendrick would chew his butt up and spit it out.
Listen, you know what? I missed the day. I mean, it's crazy, but like Drake will always be the TM Don of 2024 for me. And man, we need we need Pusha T to come back and give him the old bridges over treatment like KRS-One did when he was like, nah, we're not doing this, and threw TM Don off stage and then ripped an entire set. Like we need that kind of boogeyman for
I
stuff
don't
like
think
this, you know?
I don't think Pusha T has the energy for it because he's like, think about it. He's like, I already killed that guy and shot him 17 times in the face and buried his body. What else am I supposed to do?
Yeah, true.
Well, I mean, to me that would be like, nah, I'm good. Like for what? I mean, hey, look, leave it where it's at. Pusha T made Drake a good father, and that's what matters the most.
Dude, that was the coldest diss. I remember when that came out. I think you even texted me and you're like, "Yo, dude, you need to listen to this." And I was driving somewhere and I was driving to dinner or something, and I put it on. I must have ran that back like 15 times. You are hiding a child, and I was just like, I looked at my lady and I was like, "Oh
Well,
my god!"
it's the fact
Oh,
that the beat stops and he completely stops his complete flow and cadence
yep,
and
yep,
and was no longer rapping. He was making
yep.
he was making a declarative statement. He was looking Drake and he goes, "You are
Absolutely.
hiding a child."
Yep.
Like
Oh, that was like a death blow. Drake should have just like walked off. I don't know how these people keep gassing this dude up. Like,
it was
just go back to Toronto or do whatever you want to do. Just
it
leave
was
him
like
alone.
that white boy rocker rapper dude, that trash guy. You could tell he's trash because he's got the tattoos all over himself. But that guy who was beefing with Eminem,
Oh, Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly. So my point is this: really, Eminem, you of all people are going to pick a beef with him? Whatever. And then I
Yeah.
guess Eminem dissed him once and then was done. Didn't never responded. Just like he never responds to Benzino. Well, he doesn't have to.
Wait. Well, first of all, Benzino needs to invest in a net. That dude.
No, he
That
needs to
dude.
invest in a hobby. Go get something to do.
I mean, dude, it's like what 30 years since
Yes.
him and Dave Mays had the source, and he still got beef with him. It's like, bro, Eminem doesn't think about you at all. Like
No, he doesn't care.
100%. Like, yeah, like, bro, nobody cares. Like, you're just going on. Like, did you see his episode on Drink Champs? I only saw a clip. Like, this fool was like crying. I'm like,
Yeah, I
what
seen
are
that.
you talking about? Like,
But then he's
I don't know, man.
apologizing. It's went too far. And now he's like, I'm in the best fight. I'm ready for it. No one cares, dude. No one's paying attention. Like nobody
Yeah,
is paying attention.
yeah. The last time anybody got over on Eminem was Juice at Scribble Jam in '97. That's the last time, bro. You're not like you're. Just go away. Just go
Uh,
be Benzino and take out your 2-page ads for what was his dumb group's name? I don't even remember.
made men or something or man.
Yes, that was it. That was
Yeah,
it. God, it was like, yeah,
it was
we get it.
lame.
You own the magazine. Nobody's listening to your trash group.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe he should consider who Eminem lost to in the rap Olympics, and then say, "I'm not that guy."
Exactly. He is definitely not that guy.
No, it's but again, I'm not going to challenge Mike Tyson to even a sparring match because I'm not stupid. I don't understand why these people, their ego, or I get ego, male ego exists, testosterone exists, rulers exist for us to measure ourselves against each other. But at the same time, really, are you gonna race Usain Bolt? No.
No.
Are you gonna box Mike Tyson? No. Are you gonna get on a
Oh,
mat with Bruce Lee? No. So I'm not going to battle KRS One. I'm not going to battle Eminem. Like I'm just
yeah.
not. Ice T said that when they asked him about battles, and he's like, "I've never been like a battle rapper. Like he don't stand on stage and
Yeah.
battle." But he's like, and they asked about Eminem. I forget the phrase, but basically he's like, "No, I'm not going to battle Eminem.
Yeah.
Why would
Why
I do
would
that
you?
for? Like no,
Yeah.
because he don't even they have no beef. But he's like, no, he's sick. It goes back to when
Yeah.
people think I think he's a target because he's white. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, I'm sure that there's people that like feel that way about it, but it's like, you know what? With this hip hop is 50 years old. Like, if we're gonna gatekeep everything about it, I mean, you're always gonna have people they'll say that, but at the same time, like, if you're mad about that, but you're okay with AI, then you don't really care about the culture at all anyway, because that one would have never flown when we were coming up, and two, like. You obviously don't care, and you're just here for the theatrics. Like, you know, if you want to see that, watch wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I do. So, like,
Well, I
go
watched
enjoy yourself.
wrestling. We covered that last week, and I watched it, and that's it for me for until next year when my son wants to watch WrestleMania again. I spend my time in the great outdoors, getting a
I
suntan,
know
walking
the
through the
fitness
forest
arc is
trails,
real.
the fitness. No, I'm just talking being out in the nature, walking in the woods, on trails. There's nobody out there. It's fantastic. There's no noise, nothing. That's I have went willfully ignorant probably 3 weeks ago at this point. I have no source of news information that comes into me online, social media, TV, nothing. I listen to none of it. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
None.
nihilism can be a great way to clear the slate. That's for
It's
sure.
it's not even that. It's just about you're all so full of it, and none of you are working towards a solution to anything. And the media is divisive, and all the politicians are fake liars. Everybody's pushing a civil war narrative until they get one, and I don't need to have any part of it. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I am much happier.
oh yeah, I definitely went through and muted some things and took care of some things on Twitter too, because I'm just like, this is stupid.
I have
Yeah,
no
like,
source. I have no source. No, like literally, I
yeah.
don't see a politician news. I don't have it in my news app. I don't have nothing. My news app's all like fitness magazines now, and hiking magazines, and all my podcasts have switched. I stopped listening to comedians because they're not boring. It's the same circle jerk of same circle of friends over all of them. And I can't hear that same guest 15 times, tell the same story 15 times. It's boring and you're not funny. It sucks.
Yeah.
So on that note, you need to like and subscribe to this podcast. 5-star reviews are best. 4-star reviews are for suckers. Go to thejointsermons.com. You can get us on all the platforms there. Uh, hopefully it won't be on YouTube, but it is. But don't listen there because that's weird. But listen everywhere else. Share it with your friends. Share it on social media. You should actually get t-shirts made with our logo on it, and then have a QR code on your back so people can scan it. That would also work. I'm not saying I'm paying for it, but that will work. But do that, thejointsermons.com. And soon enough, Doc will be back in the studio, and we'll be professional again.